Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more. Follow me.
From light's point of view, light does not exist in space and time. So from light's point of view, no space, no time, no mass. Light does not exist in the world of space, time and matter. And it's actually a quantum, not of energy, it's actually a quantum of action. The normal view of what happens with light is something like that. A photon goes from the point of emission to the point of absorption. From light's point of view, space and time are so warped that the point of emission, the point of absorption are coincident. And the photon is an exchange of action between 2 points. It's an interaction between 2 points which are, from its point of view, coincidence. There isn't a transmission across space and time. Space and time collapse. There is the exchange of an action.
Do not try and bend the spoon. That's impossible. Instead, only try to realize the truth.
What truth?
There is no spoon.
There is no spoon?
Then you'll see that it is not the spoon that bends. It is only yourself.
From our point of view, it's different. From our point of view, it seems to cross space and time. And so we say, well, if light got from here to there, how did it get there? It must have travelled somehow. Did it travel as a wave, or did it travel as a particle? Sometimes we look at it, it travels as a wave. Sometimes we look at it, it travels as a particle. That's because we have stretched out the zero interval into space and time, and then try to answer the question from that frame of reference.
Do not try and bend the spoon. That's impossible.
If you look at it from light's frame of reference, and I think the only real way to look at light is from light's own point of view, not from our material point of view, it doesn't need to be a wave or a particle because it doesn't go anywhere.
It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
What truth?
That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind.
So it's like a certain point in the evolution of your understanding where you realize that physics and chemistry and all that is not what it's about, that you're inside a story. And I think the juice in that insight is that you can then try and figure out whose story is it? In other words, is it your story, or do you exist in this story to open the door for somebody on page 220, and is that it? And then, of course, the ultimate aspiration to become the author of the story. Imagine.
It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
Sensory forms are in the mind. Colour, shape, sound, matter is a construct in the mind. Space and time are part of the framework within which the mind interprets its experience. wave and particle are just models of the mind. It comes back to what Whitehead said. These are just qualities in the mind which we mistakenly assume apply to the external world. They don't. Out there we just have perturbations in the absolute, which consciousness congeals into this material world we see and then believe in. And what we're now discovering is, what physics is finding out, is the actual world out there is a non-local world. It's very, very, very weird, as Fred was pointing out, very, very weird. It's only weird when we insist on thinking that the way we experience it is the way it is.
I imagine that right now you're feeling a bit like Alice.